Hi, we're gonna go through my main sketchbook and we're gonna do a sketchbook tour. Let's go. We'll go through it and I'll talk through some of my thoughts around the sketches I've done so that we can, all learn from it. This is not quite in May, but it was done in April. You might have seen this in my tutorial, Cappuccino Anyone. This is from a photograph. The idea here is that I was trying to create the porcelain feel with very strong highlight of value 1 to 5, all very close bunch up together, giving the sense of porcelain. This is a sketch of a quirky doorknob. And I was trying to create the shadows where it makes the ring here popped and making it so much more visible in a three-dimensional sense. This was to create a tutorial for one of the easiest sketch you can do, starting with the concept of J and then just popping in colors, leaving lots of highlights, white, and be very lazy and dripping all over while creating a decent sketch. I didn't quite post this, but this is from an urban sketch where I sat and have my coffee and breakfast in Chinatown in Singapore. The 50s, coffee from the 50s. It's a popular shop in Chinatown in Singapore. I might color this, but I'm showing you here as one of those that I've sketched but didn't really manage to color. Same thing, I walked out after I've done that sketch to a place where they were selling durian, which is a very smelly fruit. Again, I didn't really paint this, but I had lines laid down, X'd design, perspective coming out from a 1 point vanishing point. I then did a swatch, and then just to get a sense for my color here, a sense of the values that I could get from my palette. You might have seen this tutorial. This is from the botanical garden. I took a photograph and then I used my scratchy fountain pen. This is an empty. I loaded it with a brush so that I could draw with it. You might have seen this video as well. Then my daughter made some scones for Mother's Day. I sketched that. Scones gone, but the sketch will last much longer for memory's sake. And then I did a tutorial on the study of green, yellowish green, darker green, more bluish and cool, dripping in a bit of a warmer green with a bit of brown. And that then brings us to the celebration of Eid, where I did this just to wish my Muslim friends Hari Raya and Blessed Eid. I then did a tutorial on how to draw with your fountain pen. That was a result of this tutorial. All this was drawn using this pen. I then did a tribute to the Grab or other delivery riders who send food to us while the lockdown. Singapore is in not lockdown, but it's in sort of a reduced movement, if you like. All the shops right now are closed for dine-in, where you can go and buy, but there's no seated arrangement, so you can't sit and eat. So we are relying very heavily on our essential delivery men and women. They are clearly frontline. You might have seen this. I then did a tutorial on how to draw cutesy stuff. I don't really draw cutesy stuff per se, but this is one of those cute stuff that I did for fun. And then I did a couple of sketches which I didn't post. This was from one of the weekend sketches in Singapore, parrots. And then one photograph, I believe it was Shirley who posted a photo of Japan. We all miss Japan. Singaporeans like to go Japan. It's a shop front. And then that brings us to the next sketchbook. This is from a photograph I took from West Coast when I went to buy flowers. I like the shadow and the way it's come across, so I decided to take a photograph and I sketched it. Not urban style, but from photographed. Whiskey, you might have seen this on my Instagram. And then I painted something very, very loose, 3 apples very little red, lots of purple and yellow. It's a very good combination that always work. And then I did one. I believe this photograph was contributed by Karen on Weekend Sketches. I did it for the fun of it. I love the colors, the turquoise sort of green blue, and also the misty sort of tomatoes. Yeah, it's a lovely color combination, especially with red and green works really well here. And then lots of breakfast. My favorite breakfast is yakun, or the typical style bread with toasted bread with kaya, which is a kind of a condiment, butter, half-boiled eggs, coffee, right? Local style coffee. I'm actually fix a bit of this because I really don't like the hard edges on the background. Might soften it, might not. Let's see. And then I did a flower. This is a failed flower in my view because I lost all the lights. So I might do it again, trying to recapture, and I might do a tutorial on how to do it correctly. But anyway, this is, yeah, it's not really. And then I sketched a lunch that my wife made me and really loved it. So this sketch is done with the May Singapore Urban Sketcher. It's just right across my balcony, my neighbor's balcony. This is a sketch that I did of the two kettle that I have, decorative kettles. Next is the kettle, the two kettles, blue and turquoise color. I just love the bronze on these two. I just love the color that come with it. I then sketched my dog Cassie. She's always down at where my feet is, and always curl up in a sleeping position. I sketched that as well. I guess that's the tour. I think that's it of my sketchbook, mostly done in May. I hope you enjoyed that. So there you have it. That's my May sketchbook. I just want to say that as a final parting note, you should learn to sketch whatever the circumstances. I think you should learn to sketch when you're happy. Clearly it's easier when you to sketch when you're happy. Learn to sketch when you're depressed or unhappy, because that might just turn you to be a happier person after your sketch. And learn to sketch when you have a plan. You look at something and you have a clear plan to execute that sketch. Learn to sketch when you don't really have a clue as to what you're doing, because then you learn about yourself and how you're handling ambiguity, difficulties, and so on. Whatever it is, stay safe. Learn to take it all as part of a journey of a sketcher, of an urban sketcher. So I hope you embrace that whole philosophy, and you find joy in it ultimately. Whee Teck out. Yeah.